Hi, I'm Danny, and today I will be doing the Hamilton book tag. I was tagged by the creator, Maureen at Maureen Keevy, and Hannah at Clockwork Reader, and I will link both their Hamilton tags below. Number 1, The Room Where It Happens. Okay, book or series for a world you would place yourself in. And I'm going to go with A Hunger Like No Other by Chrisley Cole. I would love to be in this world where everything in New Orleans seems to have a magical system, and especially in this one ancient manor, it is filled with beautiful women who turn out to be Valkyries, and our main character is Emma. She is half Valkyrie and half vampire. I would love to be in this world, and especially to have Emma's powers. I really would love her powers. Number 2, the Schuyler sisters. Pick an underrated female character. I'm going to go with Lysandra from Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. I think she's underrated because, and here comes a spoiler, so if you have not finished this book, I'm going to put a time code somewhere on the screen. Move to that time so you're not spoiled. Lysandra is definitely not appreciated enough in this series, because not only does she save everyone's butt at the end of this, but she makes sure that the plan goes off without a hitch. And she turned into a freaking snow leopard and ate all the bad guys. How much more underrated could you get? Number 3, My Shot. A character who goes after what they want and doesn't let anything stop them. I'm going to go with Shazi from The Wrath and the Dawn, because Shazi definitely at the beginning of the book goes after what she wants, which is not only the king's life, but later on in the book, the king's heart and this mystery that's surrounding him, and she goes after it knowing that her life could end at any moment. So I'm going to pick Shazi. Number 4, Stay Alive. Pick a character you wish was still alive, and I'm going to go with Ava / Aphrodite from the Goddess Test series. Oh, I hated that she had to die, especially the way she did. And not a month after she died, they have to find her replacement, and she was literally with them for thousands of years. I can't imagine having to find a replacement for someone that I have been with for that long and was practically family to me literally as soon as they die. It's gotta be heartbreaking, and I really wish she was still alive. She was such a good character, and while she did some bad things, I do not believe that she deserved to die like that.
I'm erasing myself from the narrative. Let future historians wonder how Liza reacted when you broke her heart. You have torn it all apart, I'm watching it burn.
Okay, to start off with that song, you can literally hear her heart breaking. It is so sad, which is why it took me forever to figure out a book for this one, which is Burn, the most heartbreaking end to a relationship you've ever read about. Anytime a couple breaks up in a book, especially if I'm invested in them, it's always hard. I actually have 3. I could not narrow it down any further than that. Trust me, I had a whole bunch to begin with, but I've narrowed it down to these 3. 1 being Romeo and Juliet. Kind of stupid. I mean, they needed to chill it out. I mean, first of all, Juliet I think was 13 and I think Romeo was 16, so that's already a big enough age gap, especially emotionally wise, although you wouldn't know it from the story. And then to fake her own death, and then he thinks she's dead, so he decides to kill himself, which she wakes up and he ends up having, and then she has to kill her. It was just crazy. Those two needed to just cool it. The second one I have is New Moon by Stephanie Meyer. This was so hard for me to read. I was so invested in these two, and since I knew by the next book that they were still supposed to be together, because I thought that was the first book when I picked it up in the store accidentally, and then I just happened to look it up and see that Twilight was actually the first one. So I was so heartbroken because I expected them to be together through every single book. So it was just so hard for me reading this, and even now when I try and read this and when I watch the movie, it hurts so much. And I think I'm getting kind of emotional. Oh God. Okay, and my third book for most heartbreaking relationship that I've ever read is this last couple I never really shipped. I kind of liked them, but I didn't like them as a couple, and it wasn't that they broke up that I found heartbreaking. It was the reason why they had to break up that I found heartbreaking, especially for the girl, because her best friend is, well, I'm not even going to go into that because spoilers, but that is A Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas. Selena and Kale, yeah, the thing he did that caused her to be so angry with him that she not only tried to kill him, but they broke up for it, and it was completely unnecessary for him to have to keep it a secret. I just don't understand why he had to. I mean, if anyone would be able to have protected her, it would have been Selena. So, yeah.
You leave back like before. I will fight the fight and win the war for your love, for your praise, and I'll love you till my dying days. When you're gone, I'll go mad. Search a rough way to stay there. 'Cause when push comes to shove, I will kill your friends and family to remind you of my love.
Number 6, You'll Be Back. Pick your sassiest villain, and I'm going to have to go with Sebastian Morgenstern, because I honestly couldn't think of another villain who I thought of as sassy. Like, I know villains who have had some pretty good one-liners, but sassy, I can only think of Sebastian. In both Lost Souls and City of Glass, those were his sassiest books.
The Reynolds Pamphlet. Have you read this?
Number 7, The Reynolds Pamphlet, a twist that you did not see coming. And I'm going to have to go with Naughty Nights by Leigh. This book has actually 2 twists that I didn't see coming. And one was who the bad guy was behind all the drama going on in this book. The person who was behind trying to kill Krista, and also a secret from Krista's past that you could tell through most of the book that she had been hiding, but you just didn't know quite what it was. I had a suspicion, and it was made about halfway right, but not completely right.
Man, the man is non-stop.
Nonstop, a series you marathon, and I'm going to go with the Goddess Test series. I got book 1 from the library, and the very day I finished it, I went back for number 2 and 3 and finished them all, and I still wanted more from this world. I wanted to know what happened after the end of this book, and I pray one day that Amy Carter does write more books set in this world, because I really, really want to know what happens.
Number 1, I'm a girl in a world in which my only job is to marry rich. My mother has no son, so I'm the one who has to social climb the world. I'm the oldest and the brilliant and the proudest in New York City and the prettiest. And Alexander is penniless. And you don't want to marry less. Number 3, I know my sister like I know my own mind. You will never find anyone as trusting or as kind. If I tell her that I love him, she'd be fine and they'd be fine. He'd be mine. She'll say I'm fine, she'd be lying. But when I fantasize at night, it's Alexander's eyes. As I romanticize what might have been if I hadn't sized him up so quickly. At least, my dear, it lies as his wife. At least I keep his eyes in my life.
Satisfied, a book told in multiple points of view, and I'm going to go with A Whisper from Eternity. This is told in 4 different perspectives. It is told from Tracy, the main character's point of view, Dominique, her love interest, Mark, her attempted love interest, the guy who's interested in her but she's really not interested in, and then number 4 is from the woman who turned Dominique into a vampire. So you get all these different perspectives, and I do see everyone's different point of views. Didn't like Mark though. His point of view, for especially when he wanted to get involved with Tracy, is just that he wanted to keep her protected from Dominique, which she wasn't in any danger from Dominique ever. He was in more danger than she was.
Who lives, who dies, who tells your story? President Jefferson.
And last but not least is Who Lives, Who Dies, Who Tells Your Story, a book that you think will be remembered throughout time. Now this book may not be like remembered as well as some other stories like Harry Potter, which I never really enjoyed. I know, don't kill me, but I didn't. I just didn't. But I'm going to go with Twilight. This was the book that got me into YA. Didn't realize it was YA at the time, but it is the book that got me into YA. And people are still reading it. And while it may not be as well remembered as some other stories, I do believe that this is one of the stories that will make it throughout time, even if it's not as well known as some other ones. Well, that is my Hamilton book tag, and I will be tagging a few people. I think pretty much everybody has done this tag by now because it is very popular. If I can find anyone who has not done it, I will link them below. So if you want to try this tag and wonder if you were tagged, check the description below. But even if I didn't tag you and you want to do this tag, definitely go ahead and do it. And do leave me a link in the comments so that I can see which books you chose for this tag. I'll see you guys next week. Bye!